Laffy followed. Didn't think Fia would follow with the Laffy bot as well. Oh, 342. We're getting there. Good evening, all. Gonna be working on my model. Maybe some other art. We'll see what mood I'm in. In VTuber, VTuber. And good timing.
/o/.
Welcome in, Non. Hopefully the evening's running well for you so far. And welcome into the cabin. And thank you for shoving yourself into the freezer for another month. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Oh, Cubby's just went off twice. Okay. But how are things on your side so far? And how are you enjoying the new place? Do thumbnails. Art to 8. Oh. I deleted the hyphen in there. That's fine. Now, how loud am I today? Probably quiet. That's fine. Today's going to be the chiller stream anyhow. Get that going. Let's see. Things are well. Been busy. Been a busy little while, but Def getting everything together. Oh, it's good to hear. Yeah, usually speaking, at least when you're moving into a new place, that does tend to get a little bit awkward, at least when it comes down to getting some stuff done. But the fun of it, you're at least getting far right now, and that's what matters. Body. Edit. There we go. And then just playing some RimWorld while Z's playing the Pokemans. Well, that's always fun. How are you enjoying RimWorld so far? Or is it a game that you've gotten relatively well acquainted with? Just because I know that... Okay, yeah, I just gotta follow that. I know at least that RimWorld is a fairly commonly well-liked product. But I know that some people have some issues with it from time to time. My line there? Yeah, okay. So we just follow this. Ah, eraser. Okay. Good to know we're not too blind today. There. They've got a few hundred hours in at this point. Okay, that's pretty fair. Yeah, I'd say if you're getting that much time into it, you're probably a fan then. I think that's going to be in the inner thigh. Should be fine. Then what ring did I do it on? The third? Had to wait a bit after the latest update for most of the mods to update and catch up. Yeah, that's probably one of the more niggling issues when it comes down to games like RimWorld, isn't it? Ends up just becoming a bit of a wait for all of the mod scene to catch up as well, depending on how busy they all realistically are. Okay, so that'll cover the ring around the leg. And then survey says I follow this line down. There we go. Let's just test that out to see where that sits. Because that one I'm a little unsure about. If that'll cover everything I need. Probably not, but worth a check. Heck, got about 170 hour on Pokemon in just the past 2 weeks or so. Ooh, very nice. Or Z's got. Z got about 170 hours. That is fair. Honestly, one of the, at least my opinion now that I've finished it too, but Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is at least a good game. Like, I've got no real problems with it, like story-wise specifically. It is still a very buggy game, but they've at least done a good job with the story. Okay, I'm gonna have to draw along the seam as well. Okay, that's fine. But like, if you just want a good Pokemon story for once, Scarlet and Violet's up there. Hey, say hi, by the way. Hey, Z. Hopefully you're enjoying your Pokemans. Is Z doing any kind of like special challenge with it this time at all? Or are they just enjoying it? Oh, yeah, right. SNS. Right, right. Well, hopefully Z's enjoying SNS. Because I know that they were looking for some possible help with trading. Just get this. Actually, this is mostly straight anyways. There we go. Just going through normally. Lots of theory crafting and team building. Okay. So you're having a general amount of fun with it then. I know SNS, it's not the worst of games. I feel like SNS is going to fill into that void that Black and White ended up filling into, where people didn't really like it at first, but over the years it'll probably get a relatively cult following, or it'll just have some bonus that the other games won't have that people will just find. That's at least a theory. And then that's the side of Pokemon they enjoy. Ooh, very nice. Team building in Pokemon is always just a treat, because you can usually get any kind of team together that you'd want within relative reason, at least. Just kind of depends on what you want to build too. So hopefully Z can enjoy. That's the, I think that's the neck area. Also, the legs should realistically be the same. So here, that, edit, transform, flip horizontal. And we'll just push that over. Oh, that doesn't look right. Oh, no, I can just fix that. That's fine. Then Swish has some unique points. Problem is that until the DLC, at least, it really is just a baby game for babies. You're not wrong. Unfortunately, you're not wrong. Mm. It is at least nice that you're able to. Mm. It's nice that you're at least able to do one of the DLCs before you're basically done the base game. What is it? Not Isle of Armor. No, Isle of Armor is it? Because Isle of Armor does scale with your gym badges as well. It's just Crown Tundra that you can't do realistically until you finish the game. There we go. You do at least have some options there, which is nice. Oh, that's what I did. Okay. That's fair. Then merge with layer below. Get rid of these. We don't need these. Then getting free full party heals in between each fight in the Champions Cup really cemented that this was an easier game. Yeah, I'd say that's a relatively good indicator at the very least. And welcome in, Solace. Hopefully the evening's running well for you so far. We're practicing a little bit for our debut on OnlyFans, so I'm just making sure our body is prime fighting for that field. But how are things on your side so far? especially when the last Elite Four they had played had Cynthia waiting at the end. Oh, was the last one Z ended up playing the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl Elite Four? For one thing, apologies, but I know that that one is at least well regarded, I think is the best way of putting it. Let's see here. Oh, it was that one. Honestly, I'm a little bit torn on the Brilliant Diamond and Elite Four, or Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl Elite Four, because conceptually, the run of that Elite Four is a good idea, considering they're all like competitively level trained. But like for the first run of it, they really should not have had EVs, proper items, proper move sets. That was a wee bit ridiculous, I'll be completely honest with you. Because don't get me wrong, I like the challenge. Not on my first run. Not on the blind run of the game. Because that was a little bit ridiculous. I should be fine with showing the crotch. Now it's a Pokemon with some dang challenge. Yeah. Although, to me at the very least, it felt more like a spike compared to an actual challenge. That should be fine. I can turn those into rotors. Can I make them go up a bit more? Because those are thick for a turnstile. Yeah, I should probably put those up a bit. Um, up. Let's see. If I remember right, the originals had the same idea, though. Diamond and Pearl are pretty difficult at the end. Diamond and Pearl base game weren't really that difficult at the end, though. Because, like, Cynthia is challenging conceptually because she's not, like, a monotype trainer like most other trainers are. But Diamond and Pearl Cynthia was significantly easier. Like, you could kill her Garchomp with just a Weavile or any other ice type. In Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, you either need Gardevoir to hit hard or you need Weavile to be faster, which isn't necessarily hard, but you have to pay very much close attention to that. Because Garchomp will ruin your day if you're not careful. Um, Maybe let's go up to here. No, I recall Cynthia being a beast unless you were well over level in the originals. I remember her not being super hard in Diamond and Pearl originally. Although I guess it has been a while since we've actually actively played that one, isn't it? I could be misremembering. That's entirely possible. Um, let's just try here. I think one of the benefits that at least Cynthia's team has in Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, I guess it's just the Fairy type edition, because she still has her Togekiss in BDSP, right? And that thing was always just a little bit of a troublesome thing to deal with. Maybe I'm also misremembering. I just went in with a bad team originally. That is also possible. Yeah. Both of the games are old enough at this rate that it's kind of hard to just exactly have your team memorized. Is that fine? That should be fine. Edit, transform. There we go. I'll just kick it over there. I think at least when it does come down to it, I guess it is conceptually nice to at least have BDSP. I know the games themselves were not the best received, so I know people aren't super excited for them, but it is nice to know that we might get more quote-unquote faithful remakes. Because I feel like if they end up doing the black and white one next, they might learn a little bit from the reception of BDSP and kind of just tweak expectations a little bit to not go completely out of hand. Okay, we're good there. But we'll kind of have to see. A lot of people are kind of just expecting. Really? Why do I have you up there? There we go. We'll kind of have to see if they do continue on with the remake train, though, because if we're getting BDSP now, everyone's just kind of expecting the Gen 5 remakes relatively soon, which I'm not going to fully blame them on. It would be nice to have black and white just reimagined and, accessible on something other than the DS. But doing the Zekrom bits would definitely, or the Zekrom Reshiram bits might work a little bit better. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We don't need the rotor section of the legs being supremely thick. Alright, now the hard part. Now we gotta figure out these knees. How do I want to do these? Because the layering here is awkward, to say the least. I just want to draw a straight line here. How would I do that? Hmm. Okay, that's not too hard. What about here? That's a little off, but let's see. And is Seeking still the most threatening apex predator in Pokemon? I'm not sure what universe you live in, Omega, but no. I don't think Seeking has ever been the apex predator. Let's see. No, no, not that. Maybe let's make that a little smaller? Because the only thing that Seeking had going for it was that it could learn Horn Drill, and that's about all that it had. Shoot. Welcome, by the way, though, Omega. Hopefully the evening's running well for you. Fuck yes, Seeking. Okay, maybe in meme sense is it still an apex predator, but until Seeking is actually able to become one of the largest fish in Pokemon history, then we probably don't have to worry that much about it. And here? Might have to change these into rotor designs as well, just to link up a little bit better. Also make it a little bit easier to actually get across. But how are things on your side so far, Omega? Hopefully the evening's treating you alright so far. Export, actually. Skin base test. Open. Actually got a couple of these, so put that over top of this. Over top of this, please. Oh, hey there, Frank. Welcome in. Hopefully the two of you are having a good evening so far. I don't mind the music choice tonight. For some reason, Spotify has labeled Kawaii Future Bass as something that I listen to too much, apparently. So I figured I would just kind of perpetuate the stereotyping for now, since I'm fine with it. There. Doing okay. Just found out my potato PC can't come close running BlazBlue, and I'm muted because of stream, but I'll be lurking. No worries there, Frank. Always appreciate the lurk. But sorry to hear that you're not allowed to actually run BlazBlue on that end, Omega. I know that BlazBlue tends to run fairly hot when it comes down to it, so it does request a little bit much when it comes down to it. And Kawaii Future Base is a good genre, though. I'm not really dissuading that fact at all, Non. It's more so just the fact that it's labeling things as Kawaii Future Base that I don't really think count as it. So I'm just trying to like listen to what it considers as Kawaii Future Base to see. Which some of this is kind of what I listen to anyways, but this is just drum and bass with a little bit of pep in the step. This isn't really that much different than what I usually listen to. No, a little bit over. Although I am afraid to ask Omega, are you trying to run Central Friction to run with Frank? Since to my knowledge at least, fighting games do tend to be up your guys' alley for the most part. Because Central Friction will eat your PC, unfortunately. There's no real ifs, ands, or buts about that one. It just will eat your PC. No, actually. These need to line up. Doot. That. Get the line going. It needs to end there. Doot. Yep. Then we just feather it to there. Okay, that's better. And then same thing down here. There we go. No, Shameplay, I was trying to run one. Oh no, you're trying to run the OG BlazBlue? Oh, I am so sorry, Omega. I am very sorry. Original should not be giving you that many problems, but I guess in this day and age, not every computer can handle that amount of 2D. Up. There we go. Snail's House, cute girls doing cute things. Busk, Moe, Shop, In Love with a Ghost, all great Kawaii Future Base artists. So from my end, at the very least, I do tend to listen to Snail's House and cute girls doing cute things, and probably Moe Shop. Don't know about the other ones, but I'd assume they run similar enough vibes to those two. And then I bought a bunch of stuff on Black Friday, and fighting game, any fighting games under $5. Been slowly working through the list. Well, I guess you got them for cheap at least. That's at least good. It'd be worse if you had to pay full price for these, because that would just hurt. And my Windows PC is a poop sandwich in a tin lunchbox. That sounds about right for most default Windows systems. That also needs to go away. You don't need the fade of the sketch to actually get it going. I think usually when I have any like mass amounts of Future Base up, it is usually while I'm trying to just get some work done anyways. Because it's good things to just kind of relax to. I'm gonna have to completely change that gray area here. Can I just get rid of this kneecap now, just so that way it doesn't bother me in the future? I'm gonna have to put like a ball joint here or something. There we go. I'll fix that when we actually get down to properly texturing all of the leg. There we go. It'll look a little bit odd for now, but we're fine. All right. Next will be copying this pattern over to the side. Over here? I think that's good enough. Edit, transform, flip horizontal, and then just shove on over. We can use the vertical lines to match. And then sometimes you just gotta take a pipe to the kneecap for the team. Exactly. Sometimes you just gotta step up to the plate, see whether or not heaven or hell will treat you right, and then just see what you can do best. And actually, that's also a good question, but did you grab any of the Guilty Gear games? Because I'm going to warn you in advance, you're probably going to have the same problem with those as you did with BlazBlue. Think there? Yeah, okay. You did get the first two? Okay. So yeah, fair warning in advance, probably going to have the same issues. Here. Import. Alright, so we've got knee joints now. Well, I can probably get rid of these. Those splits won't need to be there. Don't know why that didn't click before. I merge with layer down below. These will have different treatment. There we go. I figured if only half of what I bought works, I get my money's work. Ow. Yeah, I'd assume that would work out relatively well for you. Because I know at least when it comes down to it, when you're able to get some of the older fighting games on for relatively cheap, you're going to have a good time, I'd say, for the ones that actually run. There we go. Those will be getting much different line work, which will not require this. This is just for like the base body lines like we have currently on like, you know, this face. It's just to try and export them down a little bit harder and cover the entire body mainly. Which is partly why I like it, because it gives us very defined panels to take off, just on the off chance horror needs to be brought into anything, and we need to rip anything off of Jude for artwork. There we go. Alright, what else? I guess the arms? And then we gotta have to worry about the elbows, as we really have been with this. Alright, layers up. Give me my line layer. Alright, well, same rules apply as we usually have, so we'll just kind of box it out here. We'll box it out here, because this will act as a separator guard for the wrist, which... where would the wrist's texture actually be? A good question, actually. Apparently I've worked on it a bit already, but where is this? Hello, body? Oh, that's where they put the hands. I thought that was the neck. Okay. Noted then. I guess I'll have to fiddle with up here when we get to any more of the detailed hand line work. I probably do want to just put my separator on the arm itself. That seems like it'll be the easier section to fiddle with. Let's just do this. Get that up a smidge. And then I guess follow this line for it. As well as this really awkward joint here, which I'm assuming is the wrist, but we're not going to worry about that too much. Let's see here. Let's just make a line. That'll make this infinitely easier. And then once we get to the elbow and the inner elbow, we'll worry about stuff then. Here. Thank you, line tool. You are our friend. And hello, glowy back tubes. You are also our friend. There we go. Should help us out a little bit. And then we'll need a line probably along this crease. That looks to be the main middle one. Or here. Screw it, let's do it here. Won't be perfectly straight, but that is expected. Up. That should work fine. And then let's just transfer that onto the other arm. Edit. Horizontal. Neck, you are not doing well. Oh. Just move that over. And I guess this is going to be our guideline for lining it up properly. Yeah, so right there. All right, let's test that part first, just to make sure that looks all right. Save. Export. Hmm. Okay, no, that's not exactly where I would like to put the joint line for the arms. Having the panels be on the side is not exactly what I would want. That does line up with what I have for the neck, though. Hmm. Realistically, what would be the problem of having all of the seams on the top and bottom half? Removing the side plate would at least help for minute touches, more so than just taking the top cover off, I guess. That should be alright. Yeah, we can just leave it at that. Now we just gotta worry about the arm, which was always a problem because of this stupid nonsense. Let's see here. The smart thing to do would realistically just be to try and avoid it as much as possible. And then we can just have an extra large ball joint just kind of covering everything. So theoretically speaking, at least, we can do... And I'm pretty sure these line up with each other. think that's a paragraph. They do. Okay. And can you change the pose to preview the joint in a more neutral position? Not by default, no. Admittedly, that is a problem when it comes down to Vroid. We would have to do pretty much have to go into our like camera mode, I guess is the best way of putting it, and go to like default poses and animations, which that's not really a default pose, but that also doesn't work when we're naked. That's walking. Jude knows Kung Fu. I think every model in Vroid just knows Kung Fu by default. It's quite handy. Hmm. Yes, we're probably going to have to cut up relatively far into the arm, just so that way we can keep this area as like a gray meshy thing. Whop. Just reaching up for the stars. Yeah, that's not too bad. We'll just cut up relatively far into the arms, and then on the elbow, we'll just try and do like a gray, almost Kevlar. I think Kevlar is flexible. I'm trying to think of this in like a semi-realistic sense, just so that way it works in my head a little bit more as to what I need to actually do for it. So my thought at least is that the shoulders can have some form of ball joint in them. These can be rotator cuffs, and these I was thinking could also be ball joints or some other kind of rotator cuff. And then probably just another rotator-ish cuff in here. You don't need to do too much on ankles, I don't think. You can flex Kevlar, but it doesn't have as much stretch as other fabric. So it would be kind of loose then, by default. Hmm. We do kind of need the protection there, so I think making it a little bit baggier Kevlar should be fine. Yeah, it shouldn't really be a problem. Like, it is for the elbow, sure, but if you just give it a little bit of extra material, like, you know, how human arms have extra skin there, it should be fine. Dude, I'm sure the industry uses it like that. Yeah, I'm sure they do. Dude. In all of their various police jackets and such, considering the limited active uses of Kevlar at least. And here. Is that right? Yes, it is. Okay. That should be okay. Heck, I've even got Kevlar shoelaces. Ooh. Didn't realize they actually came in a shoelace variety. Well, that's fun. There we go. Let's just transfer this half over. Edit. Transform horizontal. Oh, there we go. Oh, did I draw these on their own layer? That's honestly fine. I still need to kind of just maneuver stuff down anyways. Do. Also, I hope the door looks okay. I still need to work on the hinges, which are probably going to go in here. Just along the shoulder cuffs, basically. Just so that way it can theoretically be shown that the chest cavity opens. That was at least the thought. I've been trying to plan this out in my head for a while. But the hinges won't be moving, will they? Not sure what you mean. I'm assuming just because it's on the diagonal, it won't be like... It won't necessarily be like following that curve. They'll still be like relatively straight-edged hinges, but they'll just be put in a weird curved motion. It should realistically be fine. Dude. I mean, does the door open? Yeah, the doors would like open upwards and outwards, so the doors would go up and to the sides, basically, is the thought. Opening up almost like a... I want to say like a clamshell, but clamshell doesn't have the dual doors. There we go. Then merge down. So we get to see your heart on stream. Well, no. This is mostly just to imply that, but in any possible future art, then yeah, technically that is open to interpretation. Also just a signifier that my heart is relatively closed off if we want to go the symbology route of having a locked door behind, I think, a 3-point key system as well as a airlock. It's kept fairly tight in there is what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, the level of difficulty in having to paint hinges on the model. Painting hinges on the model won't necessarily be too hard. It's just the fact that, like, making them actively 3D would be next to impossible. There we go. Obvious mechanical parts are hard to paint and rig. Yeah. If it was on, like, a more traditional model, then that would probably work the best. Because that way I could actually model out the door and model out the hinges and make an opening animation there, but we are not quite skilled enough to do that, and I don't have $3,000 to pay someone else to make a model that'll do that. And then from doing plate armor in the past, yeah, plate armor is not exactly any better. Plate armor makes things just messy at the end of the day. Yep. Then we can go here, down to here. Okay. That should be everything covered in terms of plating on the main ligaments. I guess I just need to do the feet now. Shoot. I do need to think about mechanics of feet, though, to actually figure out how we want to do that. Because we've already got dual plates going down the sides of the leg, which is fine. You can kind of just pry those apart to get access to your leg. We would have a swivel joint on the feet. How much flexibility would a robot need there to have a ball joint? Everyone loves foot streams on Twitch, all the rage. They really are. I hear they're relatively good on OnlyFans, too. There may be a way to get like a ball joint on the ankles, since realistically you need at least some flexibility there. That's a big if, though. Let's just see how this looks for now. There we go. A robot OnlyFans must be an interesting place. I would imagine it's a relatively wide place to begin with, because you just have options when it comes to being a robot and trying to have a bit more of a saucy body with a bit more of a saucy player base, I guess is the best way of putting it. Also, just to show what this is all going to lead to with all these really heavy-ass black lines. Let's see here. This is going to be a little bit messy, just trying to get this bit done, but that part's good. Need to do in there. And in the crotch plate should be everything. Expand. 1, delete. We make that relatively lo-fi. Here. I'll make that a little bit darker. Export PNG in layer. Port. There we go. Just lines that will match up a bit closer to what we have like on the face. That way it'll also give us proper separating plate joints and give us places for all the rotors and such. You need to fix that though. But this was just the experiment to show you what this is going to end up being. A saucy body could just be a mechanized can of marinara. Oh, Jesus, a mechanized can of marinara just sounds like it'd be dangerous to have in pretty much anyone's hands, to be honest. Because just imagine what you could end up doing with something like that. You could take Twitter by storm, you could take Instagram by storm. Because people are just wondering why you're putting all these mechanical parts in spaghetti sauce. No. Make that straight. And here. Get rid of that section and that section. There we go. All right, what more do we got to do on this then? I'll have to clear up the shading on this base gray a bit. The modern Roman legion shall conquer the world. Oh, that'd be fun. I just kind of want to imagine a can of marinara rolling down the Nile River trying to conquer everything. And that would be fun. Maybe like one of those hitchhikers robots trying to get a ride down through Athens. Ow. Trying to do their best to actually get the land conquered. Oh boy. Neck joints being super rude today. Alright, well, I'll have to figure that out later. I'll just have to deal with it for now. Hey, the what side. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully the evening's running well for you so far. We're just working on our selfie right now, but how are things on your side? Let's see. Feet. I'm sorry, is that going... Oh. Oh, that's how they split the feet. Okay. That is not what I would expect for that. Noted. Hmm. That's a weird angle to deal with. Noted, though. And going okay? How about you? I'd say things are going alright so far. Kind of just trying to get some stuff done on the model, since we're getting relatively close to finishing up the skin. I just wanted to get the body separation done to make it a little bit easier to just figure out where all the rest of the parts end up going. But it's not going too rough on us so far, at least, so I'd say we're in the green. And we just need to go up. So we basically just need to follow Basically just a parabola through there. That is a weird line to follow. Okay. Let's see here. Where is our base layer? Then we just need our line tool, which is the right size. Try our best to line this up well. Wide. And follow the same idea over here. Too wide. Also, slight reminder to anyone, if you do have any daily tasks that you need to get done, do recommend just double checking to make sure you have them done. Because it's never a good idea getting to about 9 o'clock at night and then realizing you haven't finished that yet. Whether that be a gacha or contacting family, fully recommend double checking. Port. Yeah, that works for the most part. I could probably fit a ball joint in there with like little holes right here and here. And Solace called out. I usually do try and call out Solace a little bit in this, if only because I know that he can get a little bit too hyper-focused on some tasks. So it'll be better for him to... Whoops. I gotta watch the backs. Noted. So what side is this one? Oh, oops. Didn't mean to change the size. Let's see. That? Probably this. At least I want to assume it is. Just cut that down a bit. Here, here, and here. That good? B. This. Boom, boom. Okay. I have no idea what it feels like to complete my plans for any given day. Well, that's a shame, Omega. It's always nice to just kind of get those tick marks off for the day. Just so that way you can be... It isn't that side, it's the other one. Whoops. So now that one is a little bit messed up. Okay. Abort. It is this side, which is off. But by what amount? It's probably this, actually. Up. There we go. Yeah, it's always nice to just get that little check mark off for the day. Oops. Feeling very proud of yourself, just so that way you can say, hey, I washed the dog today. Look at me go. There we go. That should work for that. Put that back. You can also tell that this file is starting to get a little bit silly. So we're going to have to be a little careful going forward. That's looking better. Cool. That probably could be a little better, but considering what we're going to do to it, the line should be fine. All right, now how do we want to break up the feet? Ooh, we're gonna have to deal with that, aren't we? And I don't think these lines actually line up to anything. It does line up there. Okay. I guess then we're just gonna have to guess check with the bottoms. Um, let's do one here to simulate the heel joint. Two, two, two. And then probably this one. For the base of the feet. I haven't really had to think about how my feet would be broken up, but it doesn't hurt to explore that on stream just in case we get any random questions. Shoot. G. We don't exactly need a rotator coil in the foot as much. We would realistically just need something meshy to kind of keep it together. Oops. Here. That should be okay. If a little bit finicky. Let's see here. If I wanted to link this up to our foot, we're going to need to do things right on this line. So if we do this, what happens? That'll line up with that and then hit our baseline. What if I want to do something similar to this section? That'll have a bit of a parabola there. Okay. And then I'm assuming something relatively similar on this side, right? Here. Close. Guess it depends on what order I'd want to do it in, but yeah, we can follow those lines at least. That's relatively easy. Shoot. Here. Then do the same rounding technique here. Here. That's all right. We're also probably going to have to break up the toes in a similar way to how we break up our fingers, but that probably won't be the worst thing to do. Do magic wand tool. That is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the lasso. Shoot. There. We can get rid of that. Edit. Transform. Flip horizontal. Then just line it up with there and we're good. I probably won't put a ton of work into the feet. I think it's relatively safe to say that there are going to be very few cases where we're going to have to worry about those. We don't actually have a lineup point. Get rid of that. Then should just be merged down. Yeah, just merged down. Cute. We'll probably have a similar technique in before Jude adds a show feet routine. Oh boy. No, no, I don't have any plans to add show feet. It isn't exactly a kink that I'm after, so I don't really want to propagate its imagery if I absolutely can avoid it. Dude. That in. So how we look in Vroid? I took a wild guesstimate. Wow, that does not line up at all. What the fuck happened there? Oh, it lines up on one side. It does not line up on the other side. Okay. That's nice. Um, that line can also be thicker, oddly enough. Which side is this again? That side. Okay, so this part is fine. It just needs to be a little thicker. 12 is probably a bit too much. There we go. Then we do that. And then we do the same thing to this side, as I believe they're mirrored in the right way. No, actually. Doot. To here. Okay. Now we just gotta figure out what the hell happened on this side. Where does this come up from? Oh, that comes up from there. Okay. That is horribly off. Holy crap. Here. Get rid of all of that. Then we follow this line up. Then also make this thicker. This from here to line things up better. There we go. Get rid of our guide layer. Export PNG. Go, go, go. Also, the general idea will probably be to have that similar mesh there, because you can kind of bend your feet in that area, so it makes some sense on the bot to have like a small rotor in there, or maybe even just like a compression or decompression zone, just to give that area a little bit of give. We won't worry about the technical limitations of the tension that this section puts on your feet at all, because I don't think we'll need to worry that much, but we'll at least give it some bit of give there. Okay, yeah, that's better. I just wish the connecting joint was not painfully obvious. Okay. So then I guess all we need to worry about now are the toes, which is what any OnlyFans creator needs to say. Why don't we do it along here? Then we'll have to do something similar on the bottom half of the feetsies, but that will require a different line, so we will worry about that in a second. Okay. then this, I believe, is this line. Okay, let's just test that to see. Also, we're not going to need black lines like in between all of the toes. We're not going to pretend like our foot is fused in one place. You can at least have separated toes that are probably just plugged in like a light bulb, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, that's horribly off. Okay. The top line's good though. Just the bottom lines are nowhere close. Doing the same on the other side. Yeah, okay. Toes are separated, just not on the bottom. Okay. So, this line has lied to us. Need to go a little bit higher, I'm fairly certain, right? No. Yep, okay. So, this line, the one that kind of has the same bends to it like our other line does. There we go. Two. There we go. Put that there. Here. Import. Okay. That should realistically be fine. Doesn't look the prettiest, but this will be kind of tampered with eventually anyhow. And then aside from that, would I want to split the foot up at all? Probably. That's relatively easy to do though. Good. Oh, no, I don't want to draw on that layer. I want to draw on our lines layer, please and thank you. There. And here we'll have a removable plate. And then here we'll have a removable plate. Good. Which I'm realizing now is going to look like dress shoes, but that is fine. Here. There. There we go. Are the purple parts painted or are color, enamel, metal, other material? So the purple parts are meant to be LEDs, similar to how like my hair colors, like my hair, eye, and tongue change on the current model right now. The purpleness on the hands and all of those are also going to have something similar. I just need to do some finaggery later just to make sure that I can actually get all that to line up properly without too many problems, which is going to be the hard part, but we'll have to see. I think I have a general idea about what to do for the fingers at least, because there are gloves that you can have. Oh, your hair's fiber optic? I never thought about that. Yeah. Fiber optic hair seemed like one of the more obvious points, just so that way I could do some silly nonsense like these. Although, right now it's mildly broken for trying to like combine colors, because you'll notice here we have a red tongue even though we have the cyan hair. Unfortunately, the tongue is a movement pattern, so I can't really just change the color on that, which was annoying. But on individuals, it at least works. All right, let's see how the panel split looks on the bottom of the feetsies. Because that we don't really have to mirror. This is just kind of a guess and check to make sure that it works. It's definitely not liking working on this. That's fine though. Yeah, that should work fine. Remove the bottom plate. We've just got like a wide enough hinge on there, but that's honestly fine. And then that middle section can be Kevlar like the elbows. Then we can put a ball joint. We can put ball joints like right here for the implied ankles. Always good to have rollers in your ankles. I might just try and keep to a similar enough pattern, so I might do Kevlar on the arms, or Kevlar on the elbows and Kevlar on the knees, just so that way we have like a similar enough aesthetic between them, instead of just having like Kevlar here, ball joints here, here, and here. We can break it up a bit by having Kevlar, ball joint, twist joint, Kevlar, ball joint, just so that way it's a little bit more separated. And then aside from that, that's at least all of the baselines done. As far as I can tell, at least. So, yeah, I guess let's just do our magic section. We keep you as our base layer just in case I need to fuck with anything. Duplicate. Give this... Not anti-aliased. Rasterize. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Of about 18 strength. Put that down to about 30%. Apparently I hit 8 at some point. Go. 40%? Yeah, 50. That's fine. Duplicate that again. Gaussian blur on that. Do something similar, like 15. Then put this at 30. And then our baseline layer gets decreased a lot. Oh, it's actually way too much. Oh yeah, because those lines are insanely thick. Okay. I did not think about that part as much. This method will work on everything but the feet. Oh, actually, there's another section that I forgot to do. Go to here. Need to decrease some of these a little. In here. That's why they look funky. And here, 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 and inside the crotch plate. Yep. Select, expand by 1, delete, and then for there, I kind of want to do a little bit more. So why don't we just do expand by 2? That should cancel out pretty much every other line, except for some on the feet. So then we just do this one custom. Here. There we go. Gives us our separating line layer. Export, G, skin layer. There we go. Import, skin layer. There we go. Now, how much does that match up to our face? About what I'd need. Should probably go a little bit lighter, but overall, I'd say that works for our panel separators. Shading there's a wee bit thick, but that's fine. And then this part will be mildly hidden by Kevlar, so that's also fine. Yeah, okay, that works. Oh, Jesus. How long have we been going? About an hour. And I've been perpetually angry for the past couple minutes. Whoops. No. Okay. Neck is probably looking for me doing something special to actually put it back into place. That is okay. Alrighty, well, with body lines done, we can probably start working on some more of the details, because we need to do a few more things. One would be the hinges here in the shoulders. So I mostly just need these lines to be the same angle. Can I just do that? Yes, okay. So I guess I can just draw a relatively straight hinge and then just kind of shift them up to match the curve. That's not too bad. So let's see here. Can I custom draw this somewhere just that way I can see it? Probably just do it up here. What's the easiest way for me to do this? This is gonna need to be under everything. So put it above the line layer. We will make a box about yay long. Fill it with a light gray to imply metal. Actually, better way of doing this. Do shape, rounded edge. That's too round. There we go. Actually, that is far too thick. This will have to be at about that. Yeah, okay, so about that size. We'll have to put a few of these around, so duplicate, then just space these out relatively evenly. There. Duplicate. Here. And then one more here. Okay. So that's at least the thought. And then the door would be curved in a way where it'll just kind of roll over top of all of those while it opens. At least the thought. Mechanically, it should work, but it probably needs a little bit more tweaking than what I'm able to put into it, because I am not a mechanical engineer. I am just doing my best off of the overthinking that I do of every possible pastime I have. Here. A couple of those look a little bit janked, but that should be okay. We'll just kind of fill it in and work on that. So all of these, everything under layer 33 can just be put together. And then we will need a similarly colored but darker backing track for these. There we go. Could honestly even do just a little bit later. Okay, that works. Realistically, I probably could also just put connecting joints closer together than that. But that should be fine. So, gonna move you down a smidge. Oh, whoops. I'm on both layers. Don't do that, Jude. Here. And considering these are meant to be hinges, I guess the best thing for us to do would be duplicate. Make this hover over top of there. That. Ooh, doesn't like that as much. Noted. Here, make it a bit smaller. Rasterize. Hmm. Okay, that is right. I'm just mildly blind is all. Next would be something slightly similar. So, you, good sirs, get to be duplicated again. We're going to make you shine like a diamond. Then we're going to cut you down to size because we're jealous. Expand by 2. Yeah, that's fine. Good. Then we do this. Oh. Try that again, Jude. Also duplicate that. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Probably don't need it that high. May not even Gaussian blur, to be honest with you. Go. And then blur that slightly. There we go. A little bit of a rotor there. Not too bad. The only other thing would be this dark gray layer, smaller brush, still smaller brush. Just need that to line up with our body separator, since that's kind of sitting on the edge of a plate. And this made a little bit less painful. There we go. Gives us some hinges at least. Now I just need to put all of that. Folder duplicate. This one we will need to flip horizontally. And then move this one under the other arm, just so that way we've got it in the same, at least vertical position. It's the best way of putting it. That'll give us our hinges for the door. Then we just need to add a bulb, I guess is the best way of saying it, for these side. For those side power lines, which shouldn't be too bad. It'll basically be doing something similar to these. These top lines are implied to be power for the arms, but don't really feel like adding full lines down the arms, because I feel like that's too many colors. Let's see here. That should be in place. Should look relatively okay on the body. I also do fear mildly. I think the project is starting to get a little bit too big on this one. There we go. Little titty hinges. Never a bad thing to have. And it doesn't look super warped, so I'm fine with that. That angle is going to be a little bit weird anyways. Oh. Okay, I need to stand up. Give me one quick second. Oh. Okay. Hopefully everyone is at least having a good evening so far, and your tasks are keeping you relatively busy. Do try to keep an eye out for any imposters who might be following you while you're doing them, but I'm assuming considering around the holidays we should be relatively okay. Oh boy, Nick, what do you want me to do? Yeah, I still remember Among Us. We can still make memes about that. It also did get some love at the Game Awards this year, although a minimal amount. Ow. Also, what was that ping for? Ah, Luna's live. Okay. All right then. Next. Oh, excuse me. I guess next will be the light bulbs here, just to imply that we need a little bit of power in our chest, which means mimicking this style. Where did I put my spinal power? Okay. Probably should have thought of this when we were doing it before, but that should be fine. I can figure it out. Let's see. You should be our base. You're our base. Okay. Do give us a slight bit of fuzz on that line. Oh boy, that is nowhere close. If that is our baseline, there we go. Ah, that explains that. Okay. I'm not a complete moron. It's fine. Two. We go here. And then we just need one big old circle. Just to sit there. Yeah, that should work. Then just grab that. Transform. Flip. Yeah, that's fine. Let's line that up with our other half, and then we'll just have to replicate the shading, which shouldn't be super hard. At least I'd wager it's not super hard. There we go. That should keep us in line. Merge with layer below, put that back down to 52. Oh, nope. Yep. All right, so the main things would be adding a bulb here, pretty much. Which I'm pretty sure is this layer. And if I recall right, this is just a white that we have screwed around with, so let's do that again. Do our big brush, and then we'll just increasingly go down. That sounds like it'll work relatively okay. I could actually do more. So here, do one of those, two of those. Here. There we go. Although, considering the bulb we have down there, probably can make this brighter. Good. So do one of those. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey there, Nikki. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we are currently doing a little bit of artsy schmartsy stuff. But how are things on your end so far? And is the night treating you alright? That's close enough, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. We're just working on our skin a little bit, as we do as a bot. There we go. Change that back to where it needs to go. You have a new computer, so I'd say things are starting to improve. Wonderful. Always glad to hear that you have a new system up and running. How much have you tested it so far? Because I know at least when you're getting litmus tests done on a new rig, that tends to help out a good amount. Here. Didn't even bother to check how this would look on here, but yeah, that works. We've now got power going to our titties, and that's kind of what matters the most. Not much, I'm still mentally checked out. Honestly, I'd say that's fine. You at least got the new rig. That's kind of what matters the most at the end of the day. Because I know at least when you're getting a new machine set up, that tends to be the more... This is a lot of my comics update today. When you're getting a new machine, it does kind of just matter most that you have it in the first place, so... Once you can get to it, then that's what's going to matter the most. Alright, next. Kevlar to block all of this stuff. This can just go over top of this. We will need a darker gray of some kind. Then pretty much just flood this entire thing with it. Then we will clean it up just to match under the lines in a moment. Over here. Here. There we go. And admittedly, thinking on it conceptually, we are kind of entering a point in the year where it's going to be relatively hard on everyone's mental health, so as long as you're able to just keep on the, for lack of better phrasing, the ups, then I'm sure you'll do relatively fine when you are able to just test out the rig, Nikki, so always good to hear that you have it running. I don't suppose that you would have a name for it, just because I know that there are a few folks who like naming their machines. Let's just clean this up a little bit. Here. Going to be meant to be under this paneling, so we don't need a lot of it. There. Haven't named this one yet. Okay. Well, you'll have to let us know when you do christen this build with one. The previous rig earned the name Nightmare. Oh, classic nightmares. Dude. Now, if it got it from something like the Soul Calibur version of Nightmare, that would be pretty fun. But I'm assuming because of the events that at least occurred with it, it's probably not because of the Soul Calibur Nightmare. Here. There we go. That'll cover all of that. Now I just got to make it look like Kevlar. Do I have a Kevlar reference? What does Kevlar actually look like to the naked eye? It looks like mesh. Fairly standardized mesh. Okay. What would be a good way of doing a mesh pattern on this then, without it making it looking too jank? Hmm. Cover. My line tool. Alright. Let's see. It's a nightmare in the same way that Haven is referred to as a dream. Ah. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. And mine are all names of the different scientists and programmers. Turing, Lovelace, Conway, etc. Hmm. Always nice to have a theme then. That. And then do our usual line shenaniganry. Perfect. Merge these together. Duplicate. Merge. Oops. That is not the merge we wanted. Cute. Duplicate. This is also going to look a little bit trippy for now, but don't worry too much. And or if you need to look away, I completely understand it. That's fine. Do. Just duplicate that and start making the larger chunks. Those merge. Kate. I can't say on my end that I've gotten super creative with the naming of the computers, but lately I have been trying to name them more after the characters that I've made in the past, which for now would be things like Jude and Cecilia and Zoira to some extent, but haven't really gotten to use Zoira's name in a bit since I tend to toss her name around a lot when it comes to the OCs at the very least. Nope, actually got up. That should be on point. Merge all those together. Needs to come down a little bit. Okay. Okay, that works. Then we duplicate. Now, what direction would be good for this? Probably that. Well, you know I love me some lore. That you do. I've slowly kind of come to terms with the idea that Jude as a character exists within what I call the Monster Girl planet, in my mind at least. But he kind of just exists within a relatively high-tech world that has magic still within it. It's still used a bit, but it's not necessarily something that he would be able to use, if that makes any logical sense. There we go. That should work. These two can go together as a vertical panel. Dude. And then these two can probably get dumbed down a little bit. Yeah, the Jude, hope everything's going well. Arting? Yeah. Currently, we're trying to get some art stuffs done, which includes the mesh structure for the Kevlar in our arms and knees, I think is where we're going to be landing on that for now. This is also going to look a little bit funky, but create folder, duplicate, flip this one, and then let's just chuck this on the other arm. Oops. And texture and stuff. Yeah, we're in the fun land of texturing. You're done with all the big stuff? Yeah, we've got all of our body stuff lined out. We've gotten, well, I guess to show it, we've gotten our body stuff lined out for now at least. There's not really much else that I need to line, aside from maybe this, because I think that's the back of the head. But I don't ever feel like I'm going to make Jude bald for any reason whatsoever, so I'm not going to worry about giving him a bald look. There we go. Get that lined up there. That should work out okay. And we'll just have to do something similar with down there in that crevice. Let's just take a quick look at how that looks. And overall, it's at least looking to what I want it to be. Saying that hesitantly for now, just in case something else comes to mind later. There we go. That's not super bad. There is going to be some stretch there, but that is kind of the point. Ah, that's a whoops. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm assuming it's the same on the other arm too. Yeah, okay. I need to stretch that out a little bit more, just to cover up that little bit. How did I miss that? Ah, yeah, I should pay attention a bit more. There. Let's see here. I guess if I want to do that, the lines are already set up to be even, so realistically, all I need to do from here is just increase the size of this. Smaller lines. It's not actually what I need. Here. Here. And clean up that area a little just to make sure that our lines will show. And then similar thing here. Yeah, it'll be nice to have this stuff done just so that way I don't need to future-proof Jude too much further. And at least when it comes down to the designing of this helps us a bit in just trying to understand how most of the mechanics of Jude end up working. Because he'll be very much leaning more on the physical side of things and won't have to worry about the concept of magic too much. There we go. I will admit I'm also slightly biased and I do like mesh shirts, so this is just kind of my way of adding some kind of a mesh into the structure of it to make sure that that actually just works for the Jude bot a good bit. And then a little bit of stretch there is fine. This is meant to be bendable anyways. That looks good. Dinner lurk? Alright, sounds good, Nano. Enjoy your dinner. We'll be here just in case you need anything. Alright, so that part's good. Do that, do that. Duplicate one of these? CNN, away you naked? I'm naked so that way I can kind of just guess and check everything right now. So don't worry about it too much. I'm just trying to make sure I can actually see where all of our lines are right now. Yep. This one can stay down here. We will expand this section out a bit. And toss. Oh, we don't have to worry about toss as much. When you're working on art, from what I recall, as long as you're not showing genitalia, you should be fine, which is how Zay gets away with the art that they end up doing. For that a little bit. I just gotta see these lines. I should actually check to see if Zay is going to be on today. Because we could show them saucy art for saucy art, technically. They may be done with Sako's commission, though. I think they had finished up with that the last time we were there. Dirna? Yeah. Sorry, I just kind of go and shorten it to Zay, just for ease of access in my head. Oh, they are streaming. Cool. Maybe that's who we'll end up rating tonight, then. Because, usually speaking, I don't have as many of our art group on Saturday nights, at least. Here. But we're still going to be going for a while anyway, so it's not going to be an immediate concern, I don't think. Oh, Jason's on as well. Yeah, Jason started up, I think, an hour before I did. Yeah, Jason's been on for a bit today. He started up around an hour before I did, so he's probably going to be in it for a relatively long haul, unless he's just kind of working on personal stuff, in which case he may end it a little bit earlier than usual, which is probably a good thing. There we go. Gives us our mesh for there. Duplicate this and flip it. Flip it like a good burger. Then we'll just put this over here. And then we'll just have to worry about the feet, because I wanted to put this Kevlar pattern on there as well. But I might just make this a cloth to make life a bit easier on me. Or I say Kevlar, this is just a mesh, but I'm going to say it's Kevlar because there's no realistic physical difference between a mesh and Kevlar other than just how tight your binds are. Or bonds are, rather. Go. Let's just slot that into place. That should be fine. Export PNG. Here. Definitely not liking this as much, but that's fine. Okay. So now we've got the bendy bits on the arms, we've got the bendy bits on the knees. What else do we need to do? We need to figure out ball joints for the shoulders, ball joints for the ankles, and then the rotators for the wrists and the calves. And then we should be good for the most part. Just to explain it as well, this shade on the hand is just because of the the coat because we have the sleeves. It's just to show that like it gets darker if you look in there kind of thing. Probably won't need to worry about this section as much because this is already mostly erased. But let's see here. The rotator cuffs on the calves is probably the easiest bit. I guess let's try and figure out what we want to do for... Ooh, where's my ruler? We just got to figure out how to screw around with this enough to have a rotator joint in here. That depends on how we want to do a rotator joint, to be honest with you. Because we can't really put gear in there. A gear would not fit very cleanly. Realistically speaking, a rotator joint is only really going to have like almost a Z pattern on it, where it looks like two pieces click together, but then you can spin those as they are two pieces at that rate. That should be good enough. Go back down to here. We probably won't make it as dark gray as we did with the mesh. We might honestly just make it lighter. Just that way we can make it stand out a little bit between them. Probably make this a little bit bigger just to make life easier. Two. There we go. We do smaller brush in a darker color, much smaller brush. We will follow this line just to split this all in half, but then we'll have a little bit of a hitching section. Kind of similar to what we have on the legs, to be completely honest, but yep. But we'll probably put them here. Here. And then just to test it, put here and here. That should give enough of a split. Good. Let's just test how that looks. Import. That should be alright, yeah. That line doesn't perfectly do what I need it to do, but gives us the separators that we need. Alright, now how do we style this? We're going to need a little bit of shade on the top of it. Make this a little bigger. blur. Make this fade a little bit better. That up a little. And then just add some shine to these. Big. Much. Where that. That works. Black line is this one. Okay. Select, expand, one. Duplicate. And you get to go lower. You get to go a bit lower. Then you get to go a bit lower. And you can be blurred a little bit. Oh, that one. That last line makes that look a little bit too bad. Also the connecting joint does not like the shading at all. Actually surprising that that's so off. I guess that one does kind of just have shading going in immediately. Layers the shading one. Two. This can go down to there. Here. Here. Our light layer can be a little bit less obnoxious if at all possible. And yep. Then our bottom layer. A bottom layer? That layer makes that worse. Okay. Two. Here. How does that look to you, Aroid? That's all right. And we'll put those in the wrists as well. And then ball joints, I think is all we gotta worry about. And then, considering we're only 2 hours in, I guess if I'm able to figure out the ball joints relatively quickly, then we could probably show how I do my Unity fuckery. That wouldn't be too bad of an idea. Can go away. Then all of this group, duplicate, hit, transform, flip. Because my goal, at least with this model, was just to get it done by the end of this year, so technically we're close. We might be able to just squeak it in. That'll be a good kind of end of 2022 resolution on my end, so I'm down for it. Also think I'm relatively fine in terms of a break this time around. I've kind of just been standing up and stretching during midpoints during this anyhow. I'd rather just kind of keep focused on the task for now. Yep. That should line up for us. Okay. Now I just need to do something similar here. It shouldn't be too bad. Here. Yep. The sheet there. There we go. Now how do we want to do the wrists? I want to do it similar to that, but I'm also realizing I kind of broke my rule with those. Let's see here. Your plate layer, you're one of our line layers. You're also a line layer. Okay, now will it let me erase from two layers at the same time? Because I don't know it'll let me do the other half. No? Okay. That is fine. I'll just do it on both. Here. Go. Here. That works. Then we'll just do something similar-ish here. Up. Good. Doesn't need to be anything super extreme, at least. Just the implication that there is a different kind of joint there is all we're really aiming for. Good support in. Oh, right, I put it on the other leg. Should probably make sure I fix that over here too. Um, there we go. Then that should look fine on the wrists, if only because there's not really much to do there anyways. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. We don't really need too much there, just to imply of a joint. Alrighty, let's just put that on the other hand. And then see if we can figure out these ball joints. Duplicate. Edit. Transform horizontal. Also, good time in case people are not paying attention to the clock, but probably a good time to hydrate. Which is at least what I've been trying to do during these movement sections, at least. It helps me keep an eye on where things should be sitting, so that should be fine. Word PNG, save, save. Here, please. There we go. There we go. Alrighty then. Let's figure out these ball joints then, to the best of our abilities at least. Because the most I'll be able to do is just imply that they exist in the first place. So what I'll want to do for this, since we're mostly going to be drawing like a third of the ball, is we'll want the channel for the ball to go down the shoulder here. And then we'll want the circle to be like here-ish. And then a similar circle just on the back half of it. And then shade and color as appropriate, was at least the thought. How mismatched are these going to have to end up being? Straight channels, about what you would expect. So let's just grab our line layer, just that way we can see where everything is. That'll work pretty much just along these lines. So let's see about getting a ball in here. Get you out. All right, so first things first. We want this to be just a smidge brighter than our skin. Just a smidge. Doesn't have to be super far out there. Yeah, that works. All right, so grab this. Actually, this is a part where I'm probably going to need the tablet anyways, so come here, tablet Kun. We're going to get some use out of you, because I'll need some precise work now. got to move some stuff around. My desk can be a wee bit cluttered at times. Oot. There we go. Here. Make it a little bigger. Okay. Step 1. Step 2 will probably have the edge be here. There we go. Probably make it a wee bit bigger just to do this section. Okay. That works for there. And then we need a slightly darker layer underneath this. We can start it off with the gray. Then we'll also use a similar gray for the actual joint sections. Oh, right. Also, Solace, if you are still awake, how goes the Minecrafting? I'm assuming you and Shin are kind of just working on bases right now, but it never hurts to check. Shin went to bed, but yeah, that's what we're doing. Well, Saturday is a good night for just kind of screwing around in Minecraft anyways, so hopefully your guys' builds are at least going well. I know at least when I last logged off, I was trying to start gathering resources for the chicken farm, but that's not going as well as I had hoped so far. I've just got a really awkward spawning point. I need nether crystal. Oh, you're going for quartz already. Okay. Well, best of luck collecting quartz. That's a bit of a rarer resource anyways, so let's see. Okay. This needs to go above. We'll do that. Grab this brush and Add a little bit of shine to the lip of the wheel. Nether quartz is needed for almost all of the redstone I want to build, including the fried chicken machine. Is it now? Oh yeah, you need nether quartz for observers, don't you? I hate that sometimes. Oh well, at least you know. Go. A little bit of shine on that wheel. Then here. And I'm pretty sure I need to put our little orb somewhere around here, right? Oh, brush. Here. I guess I'm gonna need a little bit of nether quartz as well. Although I feel like there's a way to do it without the observers, but I don't quite remember how. I think it requires comparators if you don't use observers. But it's been a bit. Turn off our guide layer just so we can check the placement on that. Port PNG. And the build is a little bit bigger if you have to use comparators, but that's fine. Import. Okay. Close. Close on that. Let's see here. I kind of want to have that be around this area. Why am I not allowed to click on this? Oh, right. It doesn't like me clicking in here when I actually start using the tablet, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, you're a jank little system tablet, right, I swear. Think about there works. You have to draw a little bit more of an oblong shape going that way. Okay. Well, I'll need it sooner or later. Might as well get it now. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that logic at least. When it comes down to Minecraft building, especially when you're looking more into the redstone section of it, that does tend to be a little bit more gimmicky in terms of what you normally need. File, export, ping. Ping in our skin layer, please and thank you. Port. That's actually fine. I could probably make these whites. Maybe not as obviously white. I'll have to look into that. Oh, right. Need the tablet. About there. Okay. Just a little oval. Right in that trapezoid? Yeah. So we just need a little guy right in here. There we go. Rid of our line. This is actually going to be taking me a bit. I don't want to change the color on these. I should be able to do that with a hue shift, but there we go. Let's see. Tonal correction, hue. Guess this is more a luminosity shift. Yeah, making it slightly darker gray. Not black, but slightly darker gray, like the doors would probably be a bit better. What's that, -50? Let's see here. Just gotta fix all of these. Oh, almost pulled my headphone out. That's not good. Stay in there. I need to listen to the music too, please and thank you. Tonal hue. -50. Here. Then this should be the same. Edit. Yep. I also like how those lines appear white now. That's actually kind of nice. Here. That's fine with me. Now this section. That is the main backing, tone correction, saturation, luminosity. Make that a nice dark gray, and then we'll just have to adjust the top half as needed. We'll be reducing the shine where possible. That one's fine. That needs to be downplayed a little bit. And then our baselines need to be brighter, which is a weird sentence, but actually, yeah, that's on point. Cool. That. This should be the other leg. Yep. And this down to like -50 something. Then our brightness can go down a lot. Okay. Helps a little bit. Back to up here. Probably don't need that to be as bright. Enough so that I'd honestly just want to change what color the shine actually is in the first place. And here, filter, blur. I just need to Gaussian this one just to get the effect I'm looking for on the rim. Like that. Export PNG. Get rid of those whites. conceptually it's fine, but it's a wee bit distracting in the design. Oops. And also as a utility droid, I don't think Jude would have a lot of whites on him. Let's see. The legs are fine. The shoulder can be a bit darker. Be this layer? No, this layer. Tonal correction, hue, saturation, luminosity. Put it down just a smidge. There we go. And then our holes need to be darker as well. That works. Then we just need to add actual deepness into there. Which will be shade brush, pure black. Up. There we go. And then smaller brush for you. There we go. Then something else we can do will be this. Go over top of that. And then just have a lighter layer around the rim of this. That is not what I'm thinking. There we go. Okay. Fix that. Okay. And then select expand by 2. Yeah, that should work. Here. Select expand round 2. Delete. Convert. Expand by 2. That should work. Save. Yeah, that's a through line. That works. Guess we just need a bit more shade on the shoulder joint here. There's a slight correction on there. Let's see then. Where are we working with? Okay. Need a general thing over top of all this, so here, there, dark. Port. Body. Okay, yeah, that works. Now we just need to clean up the connecting joint, which is along the body half? Hmm. I guess I left a bit too much room there. Okay, I'll have to fix that then. As well as fix that. I'm not quite sure where... Ah, that's where it failed. Okay, we can fix that. Oh, that's quite an early rate on your end, Viper. But welcome, and everybody from the Viperland crew. Hopefully your evening's running well so far. To everyone who may possibly be new here, my name is Jude, your Judicial Utility Droid Mark III, here to provide you with a relatively comfy time while we're getting some stuff done. Oh, wow. Okay, that's definitely digging deep. Hello, Labyrinth of Refrain clip from like 2 or 3 years ago now? Alright, you were doing Path of Exile tonight too. Yeah, still not unsick, so ending early to rest up. That is honestly fair, Viper. Hopefully you can actually rest up a bit. And welcome in, Sauce. Hopefully the evening's running well for you. How did your PoE stuff go, Viper? Just because I know the league is going on right now, but... Shoot. One more. Oh, that's the overall dark shade. That's fine. Yeah, how's the PoE league going? Because I know that's relatively new, and that's what you've been trying to work on at least, before everything just kind of crapped out on you, both your body and the league itself, if I recall correctly. Ooh, yeah, I did not do this very cleanly. Okay, we're fixing this. There we go. Going well, honestly, besides the fact our build is bad at the league mechanic. Oh no! I am afraid to ask what the league mechanic is this time that your build just accidentally did not work for it. Shoot. Oh, too far. But the build is fun. Lots of teleporting and stabbing. Okay. So kind of an arcane-y trickster kind of character then. That should be relatively fun at the end of it all, but kind of sucks that it's not working for the league mechanic. What exactly is it screwing over on you, though? Here. League mechanic is like a roguelike thing that you get to dodge lots of hits. Hmm. So I guess since you're teleporting around everywhere, that doesn't necessarily help you as much, does it? Is it? That's that. Okay, we do need that. Our thing teleports to enemies and hits them a bunch, so we can't dodge. We just tank and leech through. Alright, yeah, that doesn't really work with the league mechanic as much, but I guess it does kind of just give you some options for seeing how far you can get without having to worry about the league mechanic. There. Edit. Transform. Flip. Then we just gotta move it over there. But at least it is good to hear that you're having fun with it. League mechanic aside, that does sound like a relatively interesting build at the end of the day. Oh yeah, it's optional, so I can just skip it on this character and run another one who's better at it. Sounds like a good plan. And you definitely have a lot of options when it comes down to it, because there's plenty of ways to build a dodge tank. Let's see here. Think about there is good. Yeah, okay. So just to explain what I'm doing at the very least, because it's kind of straightforward, but we're working on our next model, which currently we've been making a good amount of progress on, but I wanted to do the underlayer this time around, or at least give it a little bit more justice, just so that case if I needed to swap clothing, then it would be a little bit less of a problem. So the underskin is at least doing well for us so far. Got most of it kind of hashed out. I kind of just need to do the ankles and the feet now for the underlayer. But everything else seems to be lined up now. But just to show the actual clothing, since that's going to matter, pretty sure I would get kicked off of Twitch relatively soon if I wasn't... Yeah. Or if I was just naked like this the entire time. So that... Our pants. And then our shoes. There we go. It's a nice winter theming. Got our puff jacket. Got very comfortable clothing this time around. And most of what I'm doing right now will not really be seen, at least until I swap outfits, but it's nice to just kind of get that stuff done a little bit early. Good. Go back to no pants. Go back to no shirt. Let's see here. That bugs me a little bit, but it's not a huge disservice. Let's see, what did I say I need to do? Need to do the ankles and the feet. Isn't too big of a problem. All right. I might be a wee bit lazy on the feet, if only because the pattern on that is a gigantic pain in the ass. That should work. We're just going to do something relatively simple here by making it look like a mesh without having to worry about your cross-hatching too much. Here. And if I recall, is Blue the one also running with you, Viper? Because I know we have someone else in Viperland who's at least trying to keep pace with you in terms of the PoE leagues. Either Blue or Birdie, but the names do kind of get mixed up in my head a little bit. Oh, Ochi is. Okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Well, I'm hoping that Ochi's also having a relatively good shot with it so far. And then Soar once it hits PS5. Okay. Do we actually have, like, any sell date on PoE for PS5 yet? Because, like, it wouldn't hurt for them to actually get it over there, but I don't know if they have any dedicated timelines for it right now. In between all of the league money and such that they seem to be trying to rake in. Doing this with the mouse. I can just do this with the tablet. There we go. Oh, it's on there, but the leagues tend to be delayed on PS5 and Xbox? Oh, okay. That explains that then. Well, hopefully Sora will be able to get it to it sooner or later. That's the toes. There we go. Although having to wait a week does kind of suck. Oh. But I guess it could be worse. They could just not get them at all. Yes and no? Oh, did I misread something then? You missed the big hype wave, but you also get the bug fixes from the first week? Okay. Yeah, that is a little bit of a disservice. Unfortunately. Actually, a cut in the ankle there. Whoops. I guess Soar does at least get to hear about the builds that everyone in Viperland is making, just to kind of gauge what they may be doing as well. There we go. That's a bit better. And then I would assume once you get a little bit later into the league, you do also get a little bit of a benefit in terms of the market board prices probably not being as high, right? Just so that way, if you are trying to do a relatively, be too big, if you're trying to do a relatively specific build, it won't be as bad just gearing up for your gems. What? How did you switch to a racer? What in the world did I press? Okay, not sure what happened there. Systems can be a little bit jank sometimes. That's about normal for working in Clip Studio. Dude, should be a bit more set in the economy by then. Yeah. At least Soar should be relatively okay for once it does hit PS5. And they do get to watch your side of things during the time, so it's not too bad. And considering this is Soar we're talking about, they do have more than enough to do, so I'm not sure if they're exactly pining for the league to pop right away. Here. Right, that works. And we'll just need to do this again. Just so that those match up. One of these days, I realistically should go back to Path of Exile, because I do like Diablo-styled games. Just Path of Exile is very much in your face whenever a new thing pops up, because of just the skill wheel being as intimidating as it is, unfortunately. But that might just be something I kind of just have to learn anyways, so I'll have to look into it a little bit further when I get some free time. Hell, it might honestly just be fun to try and stream one of the leagues. See how far I can actually get in one night. Shoot. But I would imagine you don't get very far in just a 4-hour window. Yeah, as much as I love the game, it's a lot for a new player. Yeah. And I'm not even like a full new player either. I did play it a little bit back in the day, but unfortunately dropped off on it fairly quickly, if only because it's hard to keep an attention span when a game is still in the middle of being built. Shoot. That should be fine. Alright. Calves and ankles are at least sorted. So for now, I guess we just gotta do this half. We'll use the same color as all of our other ball joints just to make this a little bit easier. This can honestly be made fairly chunky because we're going to be covering this entire bit. Then we'll just go over with a fine-tooth comb to get the rest of it. There we go. Getting a little bit late now. Let's see here. Oh, there's a back crack I needed. That was a weird movement too, so that makes sense. Also, please don't tell me my neck cracking is picking up on the mic. I'm trying to be very careful about that. Wait, you didn't hear it at least? Okay. Maybe it just got timed with the music, but I swear I saw the bar go up when it went off. And I'm trying not to make people worry too much with that sound, because it does tend to make it a little bit concerning when you hear a crack that loud, and then I do have to at least recommend, like, that's my neck, I'm sorry. And thank you, Omega. That's admittedly what I was doing anyways. Dude. But don't gotta worry about me. My neck is just not normal. Not anymore, at least. Dude. And that is precisely why joint realignment is there. So if people notice my model sitting in a really weird situation, then it's probably a good time that Jude needs to just stretch a little bit. Ah, right. Ads should be popping up soon. Sorry about the ads to anyone who gets them. Alright. Now I just gotta figure out where the actual lines are gonna need to go. I just didn't want us getting joint realignment for free. That's fair. That's fair, Omega. It is always a little bit of a hassle when... No, I'm not on TextReddit. It is always a bit of a problem when you're kind of just... Or I'm just giving you guys free stuff. I can't afford free stuff in this economy. And can I just go relatively straight with this? Yeah, I can go relatively straight for this. Okay. So let's do a bit of column A and a bit of column B. And then we can just link these up. Fill that in. And then get rid of what we don't need. Which... Yeah, that does it too. Okay, let's see here. How would we want to do this? We'll want to have a shade layer going through the middle of this. Which, that'll work. Filter, blur. Filter, blur. Thank you, tablet. I know my hands are twitchy. You gotta work with me here. Here. Too big. Oh. I guess that does go over everything. That's fine. I can fix that in a second. I mostly want the effect from this. Select, invert. Okay. That might be a little bit too subtle, but... Import PNG, let's just see how that looks. Okay. May have made the this layer a little bit too dark. Because it's hard to actually notice the effect. Thank you for the quack, Viper. Do like having the quack there. Merge with layer below. There we go. That's a bit better. It's nice just having the quack available, to be honest. Oh, wait, shit. I'm realizing the problem with this. I'm going to need to actually have the... I'm going to have this hinge on the back half of the foot, too. I'm going to have that back here. And probably taper a little bit. Just to imply the ball joint of it. Let's see here. This one... This is not quite as easy as I was thinking. This section's going to need to taper in a little bit. I might honestly do it to the top, too. But the bottom half is definitely going to need it more. These two are fine. Merge selected. Transform, mesh transform? Yep. Need some of those and some of those. All right. So let's close this in a little bit. And we just gotta do something similar up here. That's not too bad. There. Oh, nope. Don't do that. This is the fun of texture mapping, by the way. You kind of need to pay attention to a few different variables just to make sure you don't get super far off your goal, which can get very finicky when it comes to Vroid, unfortunately. Because the Vroid texture mapping is not great, I will put it that way. So if you're not a supremely skilled artist, it can be a little bit of a challenge. How will that look? And will I need to taper this in more? Import. I will actually need to taper in the top more. Need to taper in the top a lot more. Which is mildly surprising. Where exactly does the foot layer cut off? Because that's the part that's really going to matter. Ah, that's why. Okay, that makes more sense. Edit, transform, mesh transform. I need my verticals in the right spot. Then we need some of these. That should probably help us out the most. All right, so this section needs to come in wildly. Then we'll just kind of push these down. Oop. Just to make sure that it can actually do this the right way. Try to make that even, please. And then come out a bit. Because we want to make this bulge where possible. Okay. That should hold up just fine. There. And the guess and check of this is unfortunately normal for at least my process, so apologies in advance. That should be okay. Does look a little bit funky, but there's only so much I can do to imply a ball joint on a flat surface. But now we just got to get the back half done. Back half is going to be the awkward one. Oh, right. You are finicky and you do not like the mouse when the tablet's plugged in. I guess these can pretty much just go straight along their lines. Okay. I guess the contours there aren't ridiculously complicated. Oh, maybe don't have you on the tablet. That'll cause too many problems. All right, let's see. Give me my mesh. Move you down. So that is fine as is. Let's do the same here. It would honestly just be safer to take bits from this and then just slap it on there. Just so that way we can keep everything consistent. Oh. Hey other what side?
Gifted a tier 1 sub to Viper as. They have given 22 gift subs in the channel.
Thank you very much, what side, for shoving Viper in the freezer for another month. We do at least have a snake safe area, so you'll be relatively fine in there, Viper, but enjoy your emotes for now. Retransform. That's a bit better. Be down to here. Stretch this up a bit. Then okay. And then we can take this half. We can... Admittedly, it probably would be safer to cut this while it's in a vertical position, so why don't we just do that? We know that it needs to be stretched up a little bit, so let's just do that first. Yep. And then we will cut this in half. Then this half will stay over here. And this half will stay over here. All right, let's line these up then. Good. So you just need you to fit that line. You can sit right there. And then you can do the same. Then sit on your line. Oh. You also don't seem to be reaching. Yep. Now those should line up. Oh no, they don't at all. Angle's right. Position is not. Do. Should be fine. Let's just test that. Line layer. Export PNG. And then once we get the hinges of this in, we'll just worry about the actual pivot joint, I think is what that would be called. That mostly works, except for that line there. Where's that coming in? Not coming in there. Might be coming in there. That's odd. Okay. Let's fix that then. We cover all of that. That should work out all right. File, export, PNG. Alrighty, just about there. Import. We can probably go a little bit late tonight. I don't see why we can't necessarily. That doesn't line up very well. Doesn't line up very well, but it's going to be kind of difficult to tell it from a distance anyways. It's just the skin layer. It's fine. Let's get that in. Duplicate. Edit. Flip horizontally. That is the wrong thing to copy. These, folder, duplicate. Flip that one horizontally. That's not how that's supposed to work at all. What did I do? Oh. Okay, yeah, that would cause problems. The base layer. Okay. Fixing definitions. So this half, we're going to axe real quick. So now this should just be there. Create folder. Duplicate. Flip. Oh, I didn't put the balls in. That's fine. That's going to be more of a manual thing anyways. Although we aren't there yet, so screw it. I'll do it first. Where will the balls need to sit? Probably right here? And then right here. Nope. Oh, there and there. Oh. Didn't actually have mirror on. Okay. We'll do that then. Ball number 1. Okay. You're not broken. That's all I need to hear. And then right there. So where am I sitting? Pretty much in the middle lines of both of those. Okay. We can make use of the ankle joints then. Go up here. Just gotta put one up. That's a fairly dark circle, please. Right here. And then make sure this looks like a void hole. And a little bit up there. Oh, right. Can't change physical shape when that's on. Understood. Good. Make that the void it was always meant to be. There we go. All right. And then only other thing I can think of would be to add shading to make it look a little bit more like a ball. So let's just get our... Actually, no, the line layer is still helpful here. And this will also need to be pretty much on top of all of this, so I'm just going to put this here. 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 Put here. Same here. Here. Actually, around full should be fine. Let's just double check that to make sure that my brain is still working correctly. Good. There we go. Import in. Yeah, that does technically make it look more like a circle. Probably going a little harder on it though. Merge. Mm -hmm. Baby, the moon is gone. And memories live on. Make you a little bit large so I can clear this up. Two, there, there. Okay. Better. Worked. There. Yeah, that's a bit better. I guess now we can just add some shine to the wheel, just to finish that up. Which will be this, but a bit brighter. And then similar situation what we just did. So 30 probably? There. So that. There we go. That works. Alrighty, let's put that on the other ankle. And then that's our skin layer done. And then in the last little bit, I can show you guys what I do to fuck with my hair. Here. This. Duplicate. Edit. Transform. Flip horizontal. Put that nice pair of eyeballs on the other ankle. Oi. Also a good time for a hydrate check as well, since we've been actually at about the 3.5 hour mark. Not too bad, at least. Especially to anyone who might actually be streaming in the first place or has been streaming, since you gotta make sure to rest up your voice a little bit. Let's see here. That should be good. Alrighty then, let's get our clothing back on. Let's get this thing exported, and then I can get Unity open. And make as many blend shapes as I'm gonna need. Air, import, skin. Okay. Got all of our joints done, got all our PowerPoints done, we got the hinges on the door. Everything should be Gucci. Overwrite. Let's put all of our clothing back on and hope the stream doesn't get me banned. Shoot. Pants. And not socks, sorry, shoes. Don't really have to worry about socks as much when you're a robot in the first place. Alrighty. That should work out. Save the Vroid project, because that would be hell if this crashed. But most of the work is kind of outside of Vroid right now anyways, so we're good. Alright, export VRM. Please. Export as is. We've already filled out all this stuff. Save. Yes. Alrighty. And then as a test, will this break if I do it that way? Good question, actually. How do I switch profiles? Nope. Import VRM. 2.0, Jude 2.0. Oh, wow. Okay, the tracking might be off just because of one other section. 1 second. Avatar selection, select. That one. Okay, yeah, that's a bit better. Don't have to worry about our body just instantaneously clipping through everything, which was a bit of a problem. Now let's get our arms down a little bit, down a little bit. Unfortunately, now that we've got the big cut, I'm going to have to worry about that a little bit more, but that's fine. Good. Then I guess I'll have to change my camera view. Or I can break something. That's also fair. When are you going to respond again, VTuber Plus? I'm just going to call that a crash failure. That's fine. Good. Okay. Still set up on the right window. So, camera control. Nope. Gonna have to fine tune this a little bit, I think, just because I did make myself a wee bit bigger. I guess that'll have to do for now. Also, the disappointed eyes need to be opened up a lot more. I'll have to remember that when we actually get into Unity. Unity. Let's see if I remember my Unity project for this. Probably that one. This can go away for now. Hello, Unity. Looks like the teeth are at least lined up well, too. That's fine. And while it's opening, I'm just going to get rid of this for now, because I can't have too much open at once, because Unity doesn't like being open. There we go. Trying Unu close. Yeah, just kind of figured we would try and fiddle with the model a little bit while we're getting the base stuff figured out. Also, here's my line of just Unity screwery. It's the button. You look way more intimidating, actually. Well, that is the idea, so... Oh, Jesus, yeah, that's way too big open. Okay. I've still got a lot to actually fix on this, because the blend shapes take a bit to actually fix. Oh, is this the Pebble song? That's actually kind of funny. Wasn't 100% certain when I'd be able to... Oh. There we go. Don't gotta worry about that. I wasn't sure what songs we would accidentally run into, but apparently this is one of them. There it is. Just drag this into here. No, didn't read that. New folder? Create folder. This is New Jude. Go here. Then drag that in. There we go. It's a bit better. Hopefully. Don't die on me, Unity. That would be quite sad. That's what I used for the 2Pebble, but only the instruments? Okay. Gotcha. Oh. There we go. Put Jude in there. Make sure he's actually in line with everybody else. Not sure if you got bigger or it's just the coat. It's mostly just the coat. I'll be honest on that one. I wanted to make sure the coat was a little bit poofier this time around, so that's the button I needed. Middle click is how you move stuff around. But conceptually speaking, it's mostly just the coat. Because this would have been the old Christmas model, and this would be the new model. So there's not like a huge difference between the two. There we go. You look real elfy now. Yeah, I wanted to give the ears a bit more of a point to them. I figured it wouldn't hurt too much. Middle click. Alrighty then. Oh, nope, don't zoom. Also, there's a lot more joints in there. I'm not sure how that will go. Noted. Alrighty. We won't worry about the shading for now. That's just kind of a default that you have to worry about. But let's see here. Where are our blend shapes? Because we're going to have to augment some of these a little bit. That's the angry one? Really? And does it respond well to interactive redeems? Good question. It should. Hmm. I probably need to resize the hitbox, actually. Because this is technically a newer model. Oh god, yeah. uh, Avatar scale, head collider size. Put that right there. Mouth collider size. That should be fine. Chest collider. Okay. Kind of forgot I needed to do that too. There we go. Although the head does still clip in a little bit. So I'll have to fix that. Make the head collider a little bit larger just to encompass the head. Okay. Then what about throwing? Yeah, that's good. Make something fall. Yep, that lines up right. And that works well. I think it's just safe to assume that duck will also work. Up. Although the head does kind of just linger there for a bit. And the hair, the ponytail is at least flowy this time, so that's not too bad. All right, that part's good. Nope, nope, don't open up the code there. I want to just get rid of VY here. Thank you. All right, let's see here. So, fixing blend shapes because the blend shapes do not work the best. Adorable. Well, hey, they're non. Hopefully things are going all right in your session so far. Let's see, eyes angry. Actually, not that much. Can I do close and angry? That's better. Brows, brows. Joy actually lowers them a lot more than I figured they would. Oh. Yeah, anger does not help there. Surprise does everything. Brow sorrow goes the wrong way. Surprise goes the wrong way. Natural goes all right. Let's see here. Mouth, mouth. Full bit doesn't really help too much, but that's okay. We mostly just want to look a little bit disappointed when we're angry. And if I could actually angle the eyebrows the way I want them to, that would actually help out a lot. A little bit of a blop. Ah, that does open the mouth by default. Yeah, that needs to be fixed. Let's see. Mouth joy just increases size. Could probably show the fangs a little bit when angry. That should probably be fine. I need to do a bit more shenaniganry to actually make the full emotion anyways. That's our default blend shape menu. We'll have to come back here a lot to add all of our colors. Blinking is a little bit excessive. There we go. That works. This is what happens when you screw too much with your settings. Oh, that does both. I only need it on the left eye for fun. Why can I not do the left eye for fun alone? That's fine. This will be the same. Shrink that a little bit. Oh, right. There we go. That's for E. E is fine. That's fun. Fun is what I usually do when I have the eyes fully closed and happy, so why don't we do that instead? Do. I need to double up on that. If we do eye fun, what actually happens? Yep. Then bedtime, good work with the model. Say hi to Zay for me if you plan to go over there. All right, will do, Nano. Enjoy your sleep, and thank you for dropping by. Close a little bit. Here we go. Let's see. This is for eyes. That's Joy. Joy is one I'm fixing. Oh, wait, actually. Fun won't be that. Fun is... What did I tie to fun before? I think I just tied one of the colors to fun before. What did I do there? Let's fix Joy, though. That is too much. Want these to be closed, but I want these to be closed with Fun's settings. Then the eyebrows should probably be for Joy. Here. Keep those puppers closed, please and thank you. And mouth. We mostly just want a general smile. Okay. I'll have to double check what I usually do for fun, because it's actually been a bit since I've set that one. Let's see. What do I usually have? I've got... Fun might honestly be offline. No, fun is the general happy one. This is probably going to take some guessing checking. Oh well, we'll just have two of them set relatively the same for now, and I'll just kind of come back to that when I need it. Sorrow, this will just be general sadness, so that's kind of fine, but I don't like the eyes being like that. So let's do a little bit of closure. We'll do sorrow as well. What is full sorrow? Full sorrow is just that. Okay. Probably just do that. Just have general sad, and then we'll change all of our colors to blue. And then mouth. Mouth should have its own sorrow, right? To be sad. Which is impossible for me to see. I'll just kind of have to take the benefit of the doubt. Here. Surprised is usually fine, but I don't like the mouth being open. Scared of that. Mouth surprise is the only thing I want to stay down, but everything else is fine. Then what can we do with the eyebrows? Yeah. And we can probably do something similar with the mouth and just make it downturn a little bit. That works. You, we don't care about. Lockdown, we don't care about. Look left, look right, don't do anything. And look up also does not do anything. Okay. So that's the simple part. I actually am also realizing I'm not going to be able to fully finish this tonight because I need to make a texture map for the tongue. To quickly explain... Oh, yeah, that's not going to work now that the model's bigger, isn't it? There we go. But when it comes to the tongue, at the very least, what you usually need to do is do some color shifting, which is the easiest way of explaining it. But go back to this. Go to... Where is the texture map? That's it. So you can kind of see how the tongue texture map is just kind of, you know, a normal, basically 3-section block. What we need to do is basically multiply that out to be a square of some kind. So for us, we could either do 2x2 block of that, or I need to do a 3x3 block of that with all the colors that I need. But I'll need to go in and basically color shift this around enough to be the normal purple. Then we need red, white, blue, the offline color, and then the supplementary color, which I might just make green by default now, because I don't have green normally, and it'd be good to have the cash flow. But this I'll need to do a little bit more off camera for. But we can at least set up the hair colors. So why don't we just do that? So, create blend shape, Angie. Go to our materials list. For the colors, I usually just set them separately, so that way we can combine them with the various faces that we need. But what we do with this is we go in here, we try and find all of our hair layers, which should just be these. I'll have to double check which ones are, let's see, color. Have to double check which ones are going to be the clips, because those are also on. That should be fine. Should probably go a bit brighter. Let's see. Probably need a proper mouth laser too. A proper mouth laser would be neat, but I don't believe I have access to those, unfortunately. As nice as that would be. And I guess our hair is going to be kind of dark by default, so I might not be able to get as bright of colors as I need. But that's fine. I'll also do that to the shade color there. And then on 2. And then do that on the normal color for 2. That'll get the left bang done. And then I pretty much just have to go through all of the hair instances and get pretty much all of them set like this for every single color type. I usually had a couple extra add-ons, but I don't think I'm going to have to worry about those this time. In color. Then what's 5? Because we don't want to change the hairband at all, or anything relating to the clip. And then the legendary Cyber Saiyan Chewed with a mouth laser, maybe version 3. I guess that would depend, to be completely honest with you. Because, like, I don't necessarily mind trying to add a yellow into this, but I'm not sure how folks would feel about that. So 5 I can't identify. 6 is the hairband. Oh, is 5 down there? 5 is down there. Okay, that is mildly important. Shade color. And then I think we don't gotta worry about anything else because 6 is going to be our hairband. Just make that main color so I can identify easier. 7 is going to be the hair clip itself. 8 should be the top of the power button. 9 will be the bottom of the power button. So that's relatively good. Just got to do the eyebrows. That's the one I'm missing. Good. Let's see. Eyebrows. Face brow. That's it. Color. Then do that to shade color. And then for this one, I think we could probably do the eye highlight color. Oops. And I'm not sure how noticeable that one's going to be honest with you. Don't think face mouth will do what I want it to do. But it's worth a check to see if it is, because that'll save me from having to do the... Oh, right. So, this is partially why I do the separate texture map trick for this. Because if you just change the colors of the mouth, that also means you're going to be dyeing your teeth. And last time I checked, I don't want my teeth to be red. Teeth don't exactly have light bulbs in them, unfortunately. As nice as that would be. Okay, so this is a no. Do not change the face mouth. Depends on what you drink sometimes. That is true, technically. Yeah. I can't fault the logic there. Face brow also needs to be changed. And then do the eyeliner? Yeah, that works. I'll have to go back maybe and add like a shade layer, but for now we can kind of just get the base colorations done, and that's what's mostly going to matter. Then I think that's all I gotta worry about, right? I could technically change the color of our clothing as well, but I don't think the color of our clothing is going to matter as much. Okay. Yeah, this is basically what I need to do to the entire model is basically just go in and add 7 different colors while changing all of those, and that will give us all of our emotional colors at least. But considering the time, should we just go raid Zay now? Because I'm going to have to spend another hour doing this because I need to do 6 or 7 colors. But you've kind of seen most of what I usually need to do anyways, so it'll be the white, the blue, the pink, the offline setting, and then our white and auxiliary color, which I guess is going to be green. I could try looking into a yellow, but I'm not sure how good a yellow will look with our yellow hairband, but I'll take a peek. We'll have to see what can happen. This is also going to be misaligned now, isn't it? Yep. Okay. VTuber Plus. I am too tall now. There we go. That should work relatively well. Alrighty then. Do want to thank everyone for stopping by at the very least. We're getting pretty much close to being done this now. I just got to tweak a few things and add all my colors and such, and then this will be the model going forward at least. It'll be relatively comfy, which should be good. And then Jude's been working out, need to get everything resized, including the cabin. Yeah, we're gonna have to worry a wee bit about the cabin, but I've tried to future-proof it a little bit. But this is the end of my usual stream week at least. So going forward, I will see you guys again next Wednesday. Next Wednesday? Yeah, we're not quite at Christmas yet. But next Wednesday, I'll be able to see you guys again. We'll kind of keep the usual schedule going for now. So we will have... Oh, memory, please. What are we doing? We are doing arts on Saturdays. Even though I'm going to be finishing the model, I'm going to keep Saturdays as an art day because I need to practice being able to draw. Thursdays will still be Digimon. Fridays will be Potionomics. And then Wednesday is... What the hell have I been doing on Wednesday? Jude, your memory's not this bad. Icy, that's it. We'll be trying to figure out Icy more, which we should be getting relatively close to. Or at least making good progress, and I'm not sure if we're close to done, especially considering the hidden menu shenaniganry of that. Dude. Now, is Zay still alive? Because I know they try to hide from us when the time comes. Okay, yeah, Zay's still alive. They've actually changed their CSP to be a little bit darker. Dead by Snoo Snoo. Okay, yeah, we can try and recreate some death by Snoo Snoo. Raid 1, Raid 2, Raid... There, no. Quiet night, but quiet nights are what we usually like. So that's fine. But just to confirm, thank you everybody for stopping by. Hopefully the evening treats you well, and hopefully the rest of the week treats you well. Try to kick any potential threats to your holidays in the face within reason. And aside from that, I'll get to talk with you next Wednesday. So thank you very much for stopping by. I hate having the open mouth on emotions. Thank you for stopping by. I will get to talk with you later, and hopefully by next Wednesday, I will have all the colors finished and everything tuned up on this. So I'll talk with everybody later. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.